let me give you some insight into your character in the Sirens universe. We can decide on a name on him. I'm very flexible on that. I love your ideas. As for who he is a security agent for Pharma's security. So their security would protect their assets, company property. Now, we want our viewers to feel like they're watching a regular person becoming a security guard, and yet it's very different because he's working for the company. So the aesthetic and the vibe for the shoot is he's a wise guy. And the location we're at is sort of, it looks like a rooftop balcony that a sniper would be at. And what your character is doing is he's a forward observer. So he's in position and he's watching the skyline of the city. And we're going to use the photos that we take tomorrow to edit several different videos. And we're going to put some of the videos with different parts of the episode. So it will seem like your character went to this surveillance point as part of his job. Part of his security job is to go on patrol and to, stand around holding a gun. And part of what he has to do is go to this certain point on the city where he can look down with his high-tech goggles and he can see what's going on. And we're going to film some photos and videos that would speak to that. And this is going to be edited together with footage of the women sirens. And it will look, it should look pretty badass and whatnot. But for the aesthetic of this character, he's a wise guy. If you want to smoke a bogey, that would be cool. I want him to have that feel. He's a wise guy. You know what I mean? He's happy to do his job. I sort of wanted there to be an extra, a female character that we could have as your significant other, because again, we want the viewers to feel like they are watching a regular person just like them. And so the backstory of this character, if everything I'm saying makes sense, this is an off-the-cuff recording. The backstory of your character is that we're seeing him for the first time in the show because he's just gotten this new job as security. Times were tough. He was having financial problems and whatnot, and he needed this job. And we can sort of show that his life was rough before that with a quick couple of cutaway scenes. But we'll film certain photos and videos that will speak to showing the audience that he recently joined the security thing. He's seeing all this stuff for the first time. So if he's going to this outlook point to look over at the city, it's the second time he's done it. So he's new and he can react to what he's seeing just like we would, but he has swagger already. And that's why he's a villain. So he walks, so like you remember this point has like a door behind it. He walks out and he knows he's supposed to be surveilling. And he's not going to act like a corny utility worker, even though he's doing sort of a utility thing, opening toolboxes and stuff. He's going through the motions, but he's going to swag it out the whole way through. I know you're going to nail this. So he can have a cigarette, and the more like casual he is in like having a bogey in his mouth or looking like he's swagging out, but still doing professional stuff that we don't understand as the viewer. So he can have a cigarette in his mouth, and it's like action. He pulls out a drone thing. He's very like stern faced, but he's like swagging it out. And he's just flying the drone. He's not like this. He's flying it out. And it's going to be scary how like he's in the suit and he's just flying the drone. And he like launches from his hand and will like do something like that. And he gets to like swag it out. And he can have accessories if he wants to. We'll try. These glasses are enhanced and smart glasses, but they're not as advanced as the clear goggles. So it's like two different levels. And I'll digitize a bunch of imprints and stuff. But the footage is going to feel like we're seeing these glasses for the first time. They're a big deal. They're sleek. The way he pulls it out has to be slick. And he moves in a sort of robotic way while swagging it out. So, and that could be a little tricky thing to pull off. I'm trying to say swag it out in your own way, but you know what you're doing. You're operating a control like you know what you're doing. You can do it with one hand. You know, you can, like, you know, draw your weapons and whatnot.